What is going on, my YouTube friends and family? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. So I had this idea for a video for a little while now, and partially the reason why I haven't been streaming lately is because I've been just focusing on this and trying to get it all done. So if you guys enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. But let's get into it. So many moons ago, in the year of 2008, I played Nazi Zombies for the first time. I was a 9-year-old kid hanging out with my buddy in his basement, and he looks at me and says, "Derek, let's go try out this new zombie mode on Call of Duty." I remember it being a dark and rainy day, and as this 9-year-old kid loaded into Nocturne Toten and heard those demonic laughs and observed the bunker, I instantly fell in love. It was a simple map, dimly lit, foggy, and full of all kinds of horror and spookiness that was quite intriguing. The sound and distant snarls added to the horror and curiosity I started to feel and have. It didn't take us long to get familiar with what we were supposed to do. Grab a gun, rebuild barriers, open to the top of the hell door, spin the mystery box, survive. Adrenaline pumped through my veins as we went through round after round, avoiding our demise from these bloodthirsty undead Nazis. I don't remember how many times we died or what our highest round was. All I knew was that I couldn't stop playing and I wanted more. A few hours later, I had to walk home in the fog and darkness, and I thought, were zombies going to get me? And as my little mind raced all over the place, I couldn't wait to get back to my buddy's house in the next few days to play more. As I continued to walk on home, I thought of so many cool ideas for maps and different scenarios a game like this could have. Little did I know that this phenomenal mode would be expanded on in so many ways, and I'd still be enjoying it 16 years later. We've had our ups and downs with this series, sure, good maps and bad maps, zombies on this game and that one, but we've also gotten stories and Easter eggs all throughout the zombie multiverse. We've fallen in love with characters and lost others, and so much more. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that the good far outweighs that of the bad. And as I sit here and reminisce about how I fell in love with this mode and go over my 4 go-to zombie maps, I want to know how you were introduced to the series, what your favorite maps are, and what you love the most about Call of Duty Zombies. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and see if we can reach my goal of 200 subs and 15 likes on this video. And in my number 1 spot, we have the Final Reich from Call of Duty World War II. Sledgehammer Games truly revitalized the zombies experience with this game, and brought the series back to its original horror roots. It's one of the many reasons why I applaud them and hold this game in such high regard. From jump scares to the overall terrifying appearances of the zombies, elites, and bosses, this game delves into the Nazi occult and their horrendous creations and experiments they were doing during the war. The Final Reich just grips you with its mystery and scariness, but it also helps having a great soundtrack and celebrity cast that consists of the great Ving Rhames, David Tennant, Catherine Winnick, and Elodie Young. This map also introduces us to the armor system and allows us to spawn in with mods, such as a permanent mule kick called Pack Mule, Armored Up, which allows you to bring in full armor as soon as you spawn into your match, and Hoarder, which allows you to carry an extra blitz, or, as we know it, perk. This was also our first introduction to having a field upgrade in COD Zombies. This is one of the most gruesome zombies we've gotten from Call of Duty, but it's honestly a 10 out of 10. This map took me out of my comfort zone and helped me learn to train instead of camp, helped me understand Easter eggs, both story and side ones, and it's also the first map where I completed the Easter egg solo. Now, I don't want to brag, but my first ever game in the map, I completed the main Easter egg. It's got a great story and it's the right balance of difficulty. The Final Reich has some insane detail and has a really good layout. There's a lot of space for people and doesn't feel too crowded with a full team of players. The Tesla guns were an amazing and fun one weapon, and the 4 upgrades made them even better. I love the way you have to unlock Pack-a-Punch, and only needing to pack your weapon once is another plus. There's also numerous traps scattered throughout the map to help you with your Nazi zombie slaying. There's 2 main elites in this map that spawn every few rounds, but they aren't that difficult to take care of. There's the Woosling, a big brute with a spiked club, and the Brenner, a heavy unit with massive fuel tanks on his back that fuel his flamethrower. Unlike traditional zombies, every 5 rounds you'll have pests chasing you before dropping a max ammo. With how great this Zombies was, I wish Sledgehammer would have been able to continue this story in Vanguard instead of Activision pulling Treyarch off the Cold War, but that's a whole other topic I'm not going to get into right now. And at the number 2 spot, we've got Raven the Redwoods from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now I think Raven the Redwoods takes the cake for the best zombies map from Infinite Warfare. Who doesn't love a good slasher flick or story from the 80s and 90s? This map takes place at, you guessed it, at Raven the Redwoods. Set at a camp that's been taken over by zombies, being threatened by an evil slasher and poop-chucking Sasquatches. The special guest star is the legendary Kevin Smith, who you may or may not know from Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks, and even Mallrats. The map itself is pretty big and might take a minute to get familiar with, but there's plenty of ways to get from one area to another. We've got shortcuts, zip lines, a rock climbing wall, and even a boat that'll take you to Pack-a-Punch Island. The wonder weapon, the Vlad, is an explosive crossbow that can be easily attained after doing a few small steps involving a sausage and some deer heads. It can also be upgraded to another set of 4 great wonder weapons called Acid Rain, Whirlwind, Ben Franklin, and the Trap-O-Matic. The upgrade steps are pretty straightforward and not too difficult to get done. There's also a number of charms you can locate and upgrade to give you some special abilities, like the Frog, which allows you to move more quickly through the water, or the Shovel, which will kill all surrounding zombies when you've revived a downed teammate. The Easter egg is a little bit difficult, but not the hardest one from Infinite Warfare by any means. For someone who's slightly colorblind, I find it to be more doable than the one in Zombies in Spaceland. This is also a phenomenal map to high round on, as there's plenty of space to train hordes of the undead ravers, especially on the Pack-a-Punch Island. And you don't even have to worry about your weapons dropping off in damage either, so you can stay slashing and slaying for a long while. And unlike Zombies in Spaceland, you don't have to worry about a big brute chasing and shooting a big laser beam at you. But every 5 rounds, you'll have the Sasquatches trying to get you, but they're pretty easy to take care of. Now, I could go on and on and on about how great this Zombies is and how much I love it, but what I will say is that Infinity Ward really blew us away with the Infinite Warfare Zombies, and the Super Easter Egg is the best that we've ever gotten in Call of Duty history. It might even be the best in-game reward we've ever gotten from a video game. Like, being able to spawn in with all perks and 25,000 points, get packed weapons from the magic wheel, and have the ability to pack twice is truly amazing. You end up being a zombie slaying god, and that's pretty fitting once you find out that the main antagonist is Mephistopheles himself. Can we get a sequel already, please? Also, rest in peace, Paul Rubens. At the numero trace spot, we've got Mauer Toten from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I've said this from the very beginning, but we were eating good with zombies content in Cold War. We not only had 4-round base zombies, we also had Onslaught, Cranked, and the first open world zombies mode, Outbreak. We had 6 total main story Easter eggs, a crap ton of maps, and content that could last us hundreds of hours. I love this game. When translated from German, Mauer der Toten reads as Wall of the Dead. This map takes place at the Berlin Wall and is the perfect fit for the Cold War setting and time period. This is a fun and original design that gives me BO2 vibes, specifically from Town and Die Rise. This is a huge multi-layered map that has you on top of buildings, inside stores and apartments, and on the streets of Berlin, and in the subway system below. It may take a few matches to get accustomed to the layout, but it's pretty straightforward. The map is dark and eerie with rubble and fire scattered all throughout it, some cars and trucks around, and a couple runaway trains that haunt the subway below. There's a lot going on without feeling like there's too much. There's also plenty of space to train zombies or camp, so whatever your playstyle may be, you can go for high rounds or just hop in for a quick little match to blow off steam. Unlike the rest of the Cold War maps, you can exfil and leave every 5 rounds for bonus rewards. The CBRS wonder weapon, the Cerberus, is easily the best in-game, and as there's a specific quest you can do to unlock it, it's sometimes faster to get it by doing trials. The 4 upgrades will drop randomly when killing zombies, so there's not an elaborate quest that'll take you away from slaying the undead. Though most of the main Easter egg steps revolve around you having the wonder weapon, the overall quest isn't that difficult to do. The hardest portion I'd say is the boss fight, but once you understand her attacks, it's just a matter of shooting, getting out of the way, and staying alive. We've also got our very own Silver Protector named Klaus in this map, who sadly perishes after sacrificing him into the Dark Ether. Oops, spoilers. He has a few upgrade quests you can do, and one of which is required for the main Easter egg. We've also got a permanent Wonder Fizz machine in one of the buildings, and you can get all your perks whenever you get enough essence. There's multiple armormen around, and you won't have to run far to tier your weapon or armor up either. And last but not least, in the number 4 spot, we've got Die Machine from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I am a die-hard Cold War fan, and I feel like this game set the new standard as to what zombies should be like going forward. It's everything I want from a zombies experience, but I kind of wish there were more Easter eggs and a better super Easter egg reward. An epic rarity weapon is nice, but I want a little more than that. I hope Black Ops 6 absolutely blows us out of the water. With that being said, however, Die Machine's got that touch of nostalgia as well as being its own thing. It's a great first map in the new timeline, and we came full circle with it. We've got the original knocked bunker with a bunch of new added areas. There's graffiti sprayed all over the place, and it looks like the perfect teenager hangout. We all wished we were able to explore the surrounding area of Knocked when we were younger, and we can finally do it on this map. There's plenty of areas to camp, train zombies, go for high rounds, or whatever fits your playstyle. This is a mid-sized map full of wonder, color, and details. Not only does it snow, it gets foggy, gassy, and you can even venture into the dark ether. Amongst the ether, when you kill zombies, they'll float straight up in the air instead of hitting the ground. I think that's a nice touch. The main story Easter egg is pretty easy, but it involves you getting the DIE Shockwave wonder weapon, as well as the 4 elemental upgrades. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a boss fight, more like a final stage, but it requires you to protect a megaton named Orlov at 3 different areas at the particle accelerator machine underground. And speaking of the megaton, that is the boss enemy of this map, and you'll have to take one out every few rounds. The more players you have with you, the more megatons will spawn in. You'll also have Plague Hound rounds, and they work just like the Hellhounds, but they leave behind a Nova 6 gas when eliminated, similar to Nova Crawlers from Kino and Moon. Being that this was the first map on Cold War, there's sadly only one armor man, but there are a few benches around that you can get gear from if you have enough salvage. There's plenty of ways and shortcuts to get where you want to go a little faster, but they'll require a bit of essence to access. And I can't forget about how they gave us one of the funniest side Easter eggs either, the coffin dance.
Yeah.
And there you have it, guys. That is my 4 go-to zombies maps. And as I wrap things up, I just want to say that zombies has definitely come a long way over the past 16 years. And I can't wait for more experiences, more Easter eggs, and more stories from the Dark Ether and beyond. Now, what did you guys think of my list? Do you like these maps, or do you have some other picks? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I love you all. Peace.